Don't look behind you. I'm serious. Whatever you do, right now, in this moment, do not look behind you. Because 7 days ago, I did. And I'm still paying for it. My name is Elias. And I haven't seen the sun in 168 hours. It started the way all terrible things start, completely normally. October 14th, 8:47 p.m. I pulled into the Oak Ridge Mall parking lot because I needed new shoes. Simple. Stupid. Human. The kind of errand you forget about the moment it's done. I remember the exact moment everything changed. The automatic doors slid open. The smell hit me first, that specific mall smell. Recycled air, cheap perfume, and something underneath it that I can only describe as old. The 80s pop music was playing over the speakers, slightly too quiet, like it was coming from somewhere deeper inside the building. The floor was polished marble, reflecting the yellow fluorescent lights back up at me like a mirror. Everything was normal. And then I turned around to leave. The doors were gone. Not broken. Not locked. Gone. Where the exit should have been, there was just more hallway. More stores. More empty, gleaming marble floor disappearing into a yellow-tinted fog that had no business existing inside a shopping mall. I walked toward where the doors should have been. My hand touched the wall. Solid. Real. Cold. I checked my watch. 8:54 p.m. It has said 8:54 p.m. for 7 days. The first few hours, your brain protects you. It offers you reasonable explanations like a doctor handing out painkillers. Maybe it's a prank, maybe you're dreaming, maybe if you just find a security guard everything will be fine. I ran. I screamed until my throat felt like sandpaper. I looked for cameras, for staff, for any other human being who could confirm that what was happening was real. The Oak Ridge Mall had none of those things. What it did have was silence. The kind of silence that has weight. The kind you can feel pressing against your eardrums like you're underwater. The 80s music was still playing, always playing, but it never got louder and it never got closer. Just that distant, muffled sound drifting through the air vents like a ghost that didn't know it was dead. I walked past a Gap store. Then I walked past it again. Then again. I told myself I was walking in circles. I told myself that was actually good news, circles have an end point. But then I stopped and really looked at the Gap window display. The mannequins were different. Not dramatically. Not obviously. Just slightly. One had its arm raised a fraction higher. One had its chin tilted maybe 2 degrees to the left. I stood there staring at them for a full minute, telling myself I was wrong, telling myself stress does things to your perception. Then I turned my back to walk away. I heard a sound. Clink. The softest, most delicate sound you've ever heard. Like porcelain shifting against porcelain. I spun around instantly. Their heads were closer to the glass. All of them. Every single one. Facing me now. And I know, that mannequins don't have expressions. But these ones did. They look the way people look when they're watching someone they've already decided is going to lose. I started running. I didn't stop for a very long time. By day 3, your body stops caring about fear and starts caring about survival. Hunger is louder than terror. I found the food court by following the smell, or what my starving brain told me was a smell. It was massive. Stretching so far in every direction that the far edges dissolved into gray haze. Every stall was open. Every food station was fully stocked. Steaming pizza fresh from the oven. Warm Cinnabons glazed to perfection. Cold sodas sweating in their cups like they'd just come out of the fridge. No one was serving them. No one was cooking them. They were just there. Waiting. Patient in the way that traps are patient. I ate. I'm not proud of it, but I ate. 3 slices of pizza, a Cinnabon, 2 sodas. My body went through all the physical motions of eating, chewing, swallowing, filling my stomach. But the food tasted like absolutely nothing. Not bland. Not bad. Nothing. Like eating the idea of food. Like my body was being maintained rather than nourished. Kept functional. Kept moving. That's when I saw it for the first time. I almost missed it. A flicker at the very edge of my vision, near the darkened orange Julius stand at the far end of the food court. A shape. Tall. Thin. Wrong. It was wearing a blue employee vest, the kind every mall worker wears, but the proportions were off in a way that made my stomach clench even before my brain caught up with what it was seeing. The arms. They were too long. Significantly, impossibly, wrongly too long, hanging past its knees, ending in fingers that seemed to have too many joints. It didn't walk away when it noticed me noticing it. It slid. Smoothly. Silently. Behind a concrete pillar. And then it was still. I stood there for 4 minutes without moving, staring at that pillar, waiting for it to come back out. It didn't. But I could feel it waiting too. Day 5 is when the mall stopped being a place and started being something else entirely. The hallways began to change. Not dramatically, not movie monster stuff, not walls closing in. Subtly. Cruelly. I turned a corner and the corridor smelled exactly like my grandmother's kitchen on Sunday mornings. Butter and cinnamon and something underneath that I've never been able to name but have always associated with safety. A Sears entrance materialized from the fog, and through the darkened windows I could see a layout that was identical to the Sears my mother used to take me to when I was 6. Same carpet pattern. Same lighting. Same little cafe in the corner where she used to buy me a hot chocolate. A fountain appeared in the middle of an intersection. It was playing music. My mother's song. The one she made up for me. The one no one else in the world knows. I sat down next to that fountain. I don't know how long I sat there. This is what I know now, what I wish someone had told me before I walked through those automatic doors. The mall is not just a place. The mall is not even just a trap. The mall is a predator, and it is extraordinarily patient, and its primary weapon is not darkness or monsters or hunger. Its primary weapon is comfort. It studies you. It learns what makes you feel safe. And then it builds those things around you until staying feels easier than leaving. I almost didn't get up. It was the scraping sound that saved me. Distant. Rhythmic. Scrape. 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 Coming closer. I got up. I kept walking. I found him on day 6. He was in a massage chair in a dark alcove between a shuttered jewelry store and a Bath and Body Works that smelled like nothing at all. Middle-aged. Gray sweater. Reading glasses still on his face. His skin had turned the exact shade of yellow as the fluorescent lights above him, not sick yellow, not jaundiced yellow, but mall yellow. Display yellow. The color of something that belongs here. His eyes were open. He was staring at a blank television screen mounted on the wall in front of him. I said hello. He didn't blink. I waved my hand in front of his face. Nothing. Not a flinch. Not a flicker. He was breathing. I could see his chest moving. Shallow and slow and perfectly even, like a machine running on minimum power. I touched his shoulder and his head turned, slowly, mechanically, the way a security camera rotates, and he looked at me. His eyes were the wrong color. Not dramatically wrong. Just slightly. The irises had gone the faintest shade of yellow. He opened his mouth. What came out wasn't words. It was the mall music. That same distant, muffled 80s pop, emanating from somewhere inside his chest, playing at the same volume it always played, coming from everywhere and nowhere. I walked away. I didn't look back. I couldn't help him. I know that. But what I haven't been able to stop thinking about, what keeps me moving even when every muscle is screaming at me to stop and rest, is that he looked peaceful. He looked the way people look when they've stopped fighting something and just accepted it. He looked like he'd been there a long time. And he looked like he didn't mind. Day 7. Now, I found a door. It's small. Gray. Tucked behind a dumpster in a service corridor that branches off the back alley section of the mall. The kind of door that maintenance workers use and everyone else ignores. It doesn't say exit. It says maintenance. In small, black, official-looking letters that are somehow the most beautiful thing I've seen in 7 days. I'm standing in front of it right now. I need to tell you something before I open it. I've been walking for 168 hours. 7 full days. And I am not tired. Not physically. My legs don't ache. My feet aren't blistered. My body feels exactly the same as it did when I walked through those automatic doors at 8:54 p.m. on October 14th. No hunger beyond that first day. No exhaustion. No physical deterioration whatsoever. I've been thinking about that for the last 6 hours. And I've arrived at a thought that I can't make myself unthink. What if I'm not the one who got trapped here? What if the mall didn't keep me here because I wandered in by accident? What if I'm here because the mall put me here? Because something that lives in these hallways decided that the best way to catch what it's hunting is to use something that looks human, something that moves through the corridors naturally, something that other lost people would trust and approach and follow? What if I'm not the victim in this story? What if I'm the bait? The scraping is right behind me now. Scrape. 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 I'm opening the door. If you're watching this, if this video reached you somehow, please listen to me carefully. If you ever find yourself at the Oak Ridge Mall after dark. If the music sounds slightly too far away. If your watch reads 8:54 and won't change. Keep walking. Never sit down. Don't trust anything that feels like home. Don't look at the mannequins. And for the love of everything, don't eat the pizza.